Yo, 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 this is Dorky Diggity Dave. Guys, here is the video of when I went over to Kabam and spoke with the developers with your questions. I went and took the top voted comments. You'll see that in the video. But make sure if you have a follow-up question or if you don't like the way that they answered your question, just go ahead and put a follow-up question to it. Or if you have a new question, go ahead and put that down in the comments as well, because the next time I see them or I can shoot them a message or something like that, I can have those questions ready to go and see if we can get you some answers faster and start having more of a conversation. So anyway, enjoy the video. Before we get started, make sure that you are subscribed to all the dorky diggity goodness on the channel. And if you want to see more, click on that notification button. Now enjoy the video. Learn a little something. Take a lesson. Learn it all. All right, yo, 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 this is Dorky Diggity Dave. I'm in the house here. We're just kind of in this room and bored. Well, there is board over there. But I'm here with Luke. You guys know Luke is he's the resident question answerer every year. How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good. We got Brad in the house here as well.
Hey guys, good to meet you.
And we have Keith also in the house who's wearing a K by no coincidence.
How's it going?
All right, so you guys dropped your questions on the video, and I took the top voted questions so we can run through them. So we are going to start here with these Kabam developers and these questions and see what we get. Okay, question number one is from Yasharth Singh. When will they add Cavalier difficulty in the event quest? Which one of you answers that one?
Yeah, go. All right. Soon.
Soon. There we go.
Yeah, something we're definitely looking at doing soon. Soon is such a funny terminology. Yeah, we've been thinking about it. We're trying to plan out for next year. Hopefully we can get it in within the first half, but obviously timelines can change. But yeah, it's high priority for us, for something we want to do.
So next one is from Z Nevitz. Can we get a help all button for Alliance help? And can we sort champs by tags? Are we getting a Summoner Appreciation Week? And the idea about Alliance contributions. Which one do you guys want to take this one on?
Just give me for Alliance. Yeah, Alliance help is, don't get me wrong, Alliance help is kind of a pain. You have to do a 4x4. It's a technical challenge on our side because it is a heavy server cost. Someone's going to disagree with me, but yeah, it is. Something I think that we need a better design solution for. We don't currently have a time. Yeah, I should be looking at the camera. Something we would need a better design solution for, I think, overall. And so something that, yeah, we're going to be taking a look at, but no hard timeline on. We're going to get help all. If you were here like in year one and you remember what happened when we had added help to the game, you remember how that game went down for like 4 hours? There's a reason why help all went away.
Yeah, we have a plan to get something in the game. There's a lot of issues in general with champion sorting. A lot of it's a result of legacy stuff from the game's 5 years old. So we'll be looking at addressing something like that fairly soon.
Yeah, Summer Appreciation Week. We got big plans for the 5th anniversary. That's definitely going to be a week-long event. Yeah, I think everyone should expect a lot of free stuff. A lot of free stuff. I mean, yeah, like I don't like it's going to be similar to previous years, but obviously big because of the 5th anniversary. Yeah.
Okay, so Alliance contributions. So right now, the current idea, I know that you talked about this one, Dave. Like Alliance contributions was simplifying, essentially like presetting donations so that. Yeah, if I'm an Alliance member, I go in, I just automatically deposit what it is in there. So we are looking at Alliance kind of donation system as a whole. It might come in the form of contributions, but we're also looking at another form that I think for leadership would alleviate a lot of like that headache of setting donations, tracking donations, all that kind of stuff. Can't really get into details yet because it's something we're looking at in 2020. But simplifying how you donate, especially for AQ, is something that we're looking at for next year.
All right, next question comes up from Arnie2. When will we have an option to create a predefined mastery set and allow us to switch between them, like 3 options, for example? This is going to save us a lot of time to switch between different mastery trees much quicker. It's like, nope.
I'll just take this one again. Yeah, 100%. Mastery loadouts is definitely something we've taken a look at. We're probably going to look at doing it when we do a larger Mastery overhaul. Like Masteries as a whole needs some love. So when we do that, we're going to include the option of loadouts, like many other major games. Yeah.
All right, this one comes in from Zare Smith. He has 2 questions for you, and he says, will we ever go past level 60? For real, we still get XP boost, so he doesn't know what to do with that. And also, why in AW Victory Crystals are we getting Arena boost and not bonus shards?
For the AW crystals, yeah, I guess arena boost crystals are a little bit out of the place. Yeah, it's definitely something we should take a look into. As for the level 60, we've talked about increasing the level cap, but it's a little complicated. It's more than just increasing the number. It'd be really easy to just let people go higher. But the problem is, what do we put in the rewards? A lot of people want like mastery points, but we're not intending to put any additional mastery points into the sort of economy. And then like, what do people think is a good reward for that type of thing? It's a little bit more complicated than just increasing the number. So it is something that we're talking about though, and potentially could come in the future.
Hi IX says, why isn't there a rematch button after completing a duel? There's an extra emphasis on rematch for button.
Yeah. Do you want to? Yeah.
Well, I mean, in part, the dual functionality was just to give give players the ability to do a duel. It wasn't what it has become, which is a sort of a training a method for people to like fight against a champion a lot and use it as a training method. Wasn't part of the like original design of it. So it's a valid point for like a possible feature improvement in the future, but that like it wasn't designed for that when it originally came out. It was like part of Alliance Quest. It was an Alliance event to do duels, to get to earn points and basically play other players. It is more of a training tool. So yeah.
Is that something we're looking towards changing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Potentially, yeah. It's part of it is. Part of it is there have been other. It highlights a problem that people want the ability to do some training against specific champs. That problem, the solution to that problem, isn't necessarily more duels. So exactly how we solve that problem is to be determined, but that would be one possible solution to that.
All right. Next question, Ryan Jansen. How come when you dupe a 6-star, you can't at least get more 6-star shards? And second question, can 6-star shards be made more available outside of month-long events without being in a top alliance? I'm going to be almost a year for one. That sounds like your question.
Yeah, that's my question. Okay. Okay, so the first one was why don't you get more 6-star shards when you dupe a 6-star? At the top level, and it worked the same way with 4 stars and worked the same way with 5 stars until we add 7 stars. There's that no additional shard aspect, and that's something we've done the past 5 years. I don't think that's something that we're going to change in the future. As it comes to 6-star shards and making them more available, that will happen. That happens with pretty much all of the sort of top hero rating, champions. It becomes more available. The availability of 5-star shards last year or the year before that, the availability of 4 stars was super rare when the game launched. So over time, yeah, they fall off. The 6-star shards will be increasing in 2020 for sure. 5-star shards and 6-star shards in 2020.
This one is from Chuck Ryan. Can we please get a document with a clear description defining offensive buffs, defensive buffs, game interactions related to passive effects versus active buffs and debuffs, like Doom's passive stun effect on stun immune champions as an example?
I think I can take this one, actually. It was Chuck, right? Yeah. Hey, Chuck. So the way that those buffs are described, and I found it kind of confusing when I first started playing and working with the game as well. A lot of that stuff is described in the game in the pause menu. It's not great. It's not a good solution to that though. But we do have a customer support page that has a whole bunch of information on different types of buffs. But that sounds like something that we could include there as well. So yeah, I'll look into asking the team if we can add that.
Next one comes from Bushido Brown. He has a list of questions here, but I'll pick some of the better ones here. Gold. Ranking and leveling 5 stars should now be like ranking 4 stars back in the day. The meta is shifting to 6 star now that some people can get to 6 star R3. So this can be title based, so not to mess with the game's economy. So we have an economy guy here, Keith. What you say?
Gold is very closely looked at. We are constantly monitoring it. Gold balances of players at all stages of the game. It is definitely something that we keep a tight control over. And in cases where we think that we need to add more to the economy, we definitely do that. But those changes are usually very small in nature. Like we'll make a small adjustment to the gold economy because it's pretty wide ranging. We're not going to go in and make major, like huge dumps of gold because that causes a lot of problems in terms of like managing and maintaining that economy. So we'll keep an eye on it. And if we need to, we'll make small adjustments, but I don't think you should expect any like crazy, changes to the gold economy in the future.
Also, his a second question from him would be, when is 5-star basic arena coming?
Like the gold economy, the arena system is something that we keep a close eye on, and we've been talking about what possible rework for the arena system would look like. Adding more arenas adds a lot more work to maintain, a lot more resources and rewards into the economy, and it's something that we're keeping a close eye on. But it's outside of a giant like rework. I don't like right now. We're not looking at 5-star basic arena as the solution to that. But it's something that arenas in general are something that we're looking at possibly doing some improvements in the near future. All right, Bushido Brown. So 5-star basic arenas. So the arena system is also something that we keep a close eye on, much like the gold economy. It is something that it's a place where players get a lot of gold, battle chips, as well as units. And just adding another arena injects potentially a whole bunch more rewards into that system. We would have to balance it in some way by potentially like taking away from other arenas or like finding some way to balance that, of which we haven't found a great solution to yet. There's always the possibility of a complete rework of the arena system, but because a lot of players rely on it for a lot of resources, it's not as easy as just like, going in and making a wholesale change. I think that would be a pretty big upheaval in the community on, exactly how that works. So it has been something that we've been talking about for months. And I think that there are some small things that we could do to improve it that would be a lot easier to achieve. But a big change, like adding a whole nother arena to the system, is something that is a little ways out at least. So.
NF Sama says, when will they change the Grandmaster Shards to Cavalier Shards for people who got the Cavalier title? These are all economy questions.
NF Sama. Okay, so we don't have any plans to change the Grandmaster Shards to Cavalier Crystal Shards at this time. It definitely seems like something that might occur down the line. As with the economy in general, we make the availability of things more easy and like sort of open up the availability of 5 stars and 6 stars. So that's what changing the Grandmaster Crystal to the Cavalier Crystal would do. It would increase the likelihood of getting 6 stars. I think that'll come in time, but there's no plans to do it right now.
Cameron Fothi, he's basically saying that you guys had said that you're moving away from prestige, but now with Doom having such a ridiculously high prestige, and that could just be because he's awesome, and it could just also be that I have one in 6-star, but that's besides the point. He wants to know, what is the thought process behind that?
Okay, so really early on in the game, a lot of the game, especially late game, was around alliance quests, and that centered a lot around prestige. Like, you need high prestige to do well in alliance quests. We've sort of, when we moved into seasons and alliance wars, we kind of moved away from prestige a little bit, and a lot of the best rewards were in alliance wars. I think that this is a little bit of a byproduct of like us going, maybe we put a little bit too much only in alliance wars, and a lot of players liked AQ, but now it's like the rewards aren't as good. So we improved the rewards in AQ, and now a lot of people are kind of like going back to, oh, prestige is like the most important thing. Well, it is a little bit for AQ, but now there's also seasons and alliance wars. So, you know, it's kind of a mix now. And more so than back in the day, it was like that was the only game in town. So I think that the change and the improvement of the AQ rewards has kind of led to higher prestige champions, or the prestige champions being more valuable. As to Doom, you know, he happens to have a great prestige. He's a great champion in general on top of the great prestige. So I think that's just exacerbated the situation, because not only is he great, but he has a high prestige, makes him super valuable and desirable.
So Cam had some other questions. Next one that I have here is, when are percent-based potions being added, and why do they seem to never reduce the glory cost for potions in the store?
Okay, first part, percent-based potions. So potion economy is largely based around like how much health we have out there. A lot of people have potions in their inventories, so that's already kind of out there in the wild. So changing them to percent-based dramatically changes the amount of sort of health that exists in the economy. And that kind of dramatic change is basically high risk, and not something we necessarily want to like just wade in and just like make a change like that. That being said, we have been taking a close look at potions. We do recognize that they probably could use a little bit of a boost. So what's more likely to happen is an increase in the potency of the potions, as opposed to changing to straight percent based. As for the alliance potions in the Glory Store, so the primary, well, the players have probably a different perspective on this. But the primary goal for the Glory Store is for you to get resources, catalysts, improvement stuff, and less so consumables like potions. However, players have taken to really go for the potions in the Glory Store. So as we've kind of reworked the Glory Store, or as the prices have changed, we kind of left the potions the same while kind of reducing the price or increasing the value of the other stuff, to try and entice players to kind of go for, hey, maybe spend it on T5B and make your champion stronger, instead of just always, you're kind of like playing AQ, using potions to get glory to spend on potions, and then you just never move up. You never like get stronger. So that's part of the reason why we haven't really changed the AQ potion cost.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And the other thing I'd probably say as well, when it comes to like Alliance Wars and Alliance Quest potions, is that is something we're looking at doing a rework to soon. I'm not going to give a timeline, but yeah, we are going to do it. And obviously, yeah, increased potency is going to be a big aspect of it, but I think there's going to be some other stuff in there that I think players are really going to like.
Jay Meist says, if prestige is relevant, how come we can't see it and have to go outside the game to figure it out?
We don't really have a good reason for that. I mean, in part, it's something that we've talked about adding to the game. Yeah, we can look into it.
Yeah, it's like there's not like a hard timeline on it, but I think that's definitely something like when you think about when the game first released, prestige was kind of like a hidden stat that we were kind of, for the most part, initially only leveraging for like Alliance quests. And then over time, like obviously as players started to like pull data and stuff like that, obviously this became like a very visible one. And then, obviously you can go to dope sites like AMA to go through and break that stuff down. But that being said, is obviously having like a way in game to actually view that stuff, because it is something it's like, it's no secret. It's not like we're like, no, prestige doesn't exist, we don't use that anymore. No, 100% we use it. I think having somewhere in game where that is actually displayed for players, and then understanding what that actually affects, I think would be something, we've talked about. Where can we update in terms of different screens and stuff like that? We don't have a hard timeline on it, but it's like, it's like visualizing it in some aspect.
Yeah, and I shouldn't say like, there's no reason that it hasn't been added. It's something that it's something that like we recognize that it would be good if it was in the game. But a lot of the time when we there's a lot of ways we can improve the game in all kinds of different areas. And it comes down to like, okay, do we work on this big feature, or do we work on this thing, or do we fix that, or do we work on this? And it comes down to it just hasn't made it onto the final list to get into the game. It isn't like we haven't recognized that players would want that in the game. It's just it hasn't been up on the list enough for it to make it in. I think that's
Actually, I could probably just add one more thing here.
yeah.
So with regards to, this is one aspect that we would look at if we were looking to do like a player profile update. And it's something that we've talked a bit about internally too, but there's all kinds of other questions involved with that too. So, right now we show, the number of, duels that you've done and how many quests you've completed in that screen, and very critical information. For some reason, we show 4 champions, even though in Alliance War we attack with 3, and everywhere in the quests we have 5. There's like a lot of questions like that need to be answered, and there's a lot of other things that we could solve by updating that profile as well. So, it's definitely something that we think a lot about.
All right, so we've got another question here from Chris Brown. He says, why do they insist on making side events that cost energy, yet don't count towards any completion events?
Chris Brown writes, why do they insist on making side events that cost energy, yet don't count towards any completion events? So the side events are built and planned and tuned and have rewards in them just for on a monthly basis, whereas the completion event is running in the contest all of the time. It's kind of, these two things are separate. We put the rewards in the side events that we feel are appropriate, and I don't think we have any plans on changing that in the near future. So, thanks.
Once again, this is Dorky Diggity Dave. You just watched me interview Keith, Brad, and Luke. They are some of the developers over at Kabam. So again, make sure that if you do have follow-up questions, put those down in the comments below so I can bring those to them. Maybe I can get some more videos out of them and answer some of those questions for you guys. So if you liked the video, and I hope that you did, go ahead and click subscribe, click like, leave a comment, share it with your friends, share it with your mama. All that stuff helps me out. And remember, stay dorky, and I'll catch y'all on the flip. Oh, Potamus. Learn a little something. Take a lesson. Learn it all.